Hi guys, Big Niche here. It's the next morning, it's May the 6th, and Mosen is just down here having his breakfast, so don't mind the noise. I am going to make myself a cup of coffee and get a little bit of an early start today on possibly some gardening, some outside work, and relaxing before I actually have to work. Actually much cooler outside than I expected it to be this morning. So I'm a little chilly, but I just looked it up online to see like what time of day is the best time to transplant plants, and it says early in the morning or later in the afternoon or on a cloudy day, something that's cooler so that the plants can settle in out of direct sunlight, which I guess I just learned something new. So I may as well take advantage of being up and out this morning and see how far I get. I've already got several of these in, thankfully, and I've watered them and hopefully they do well. I don't know. I will say that a million times, I know, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. I'm just worried about the new babies. I do want to try to make a quick run to Home Depot really quick as well before I have to get started with work, and I think I've got time to do that. So I'm gonna just throw these last couple in really quick in the bed and then run to Home Depot and start my work day. So I'm just gonna give them a little bit of quick start, and it's half a cup to a gallon of water. You just mix the solution, and then it says 1 cup per plant for transplanting or starting plants. So I'm going to feed these little babies. They're looking pretty good. You know, just kind of hope for the best and see where it goes. I did kind of inspect the leaves as I was putting them in, so hopefully I got rid of any of the pests that I saw on the leaves before I put them in here. At least I did my best to make sure to try and do that. Okay, well, my work day is pretty much almost over with. I'm actually just taking a late lunch break, but it's so late in the day that I'll just hop back on to finish out my day very shortly once my lunch break is over, and then that's pretty much it. So what's crazy is while I've been inside working, I've kind of been watching out the windows. The weather changed significantly from earlier and from what the forecast said. So as you can see, it's been pretty windy. We've gotten some really unexpectedly high wind gusts, like looks like craziness. It feels much cooler outside. So and then I got a notification that it's probably gonna rain in a bit. So it's pretty unusual considering it was saying that it was gonna be bright and sunny, and I thought my newly transplanted plants were gonna get a lot of light, but that's okay. So I just was a little bit worried as I was inside working because of the wind gusts being as high as they were. I was afraid that my little plants might be getting banged up out here, but they actually still look just fine. I guess they know what to do. I'm glad I tied a couple of them off. So yeah, I didn't make it to Home Depot, and I'm not gonna go on my lunch break now just because the weather is not looking awesome. So this pretty much, I guess, wraps up my yard work for today, and I'll just have to bring some of the stuff inside so it doesn't blow away. Well, since it is lunch break, I've got my cashews and my soup, and I'm sitting in my chair here with a nice outside view by the window and just going to relax for a few minutes. Well, I felt a new bit of inspiration, and so I'm going to enjoy this lovely looking cupcake that my friend Sam got me for my birthday. And I think I'm gonna plant some seeds. So I have all of these, I'll show them to you in just a second, but I have all these seed packets and I have a few of the smaller planters that I can use. I also saw a trick that you can use like toilet paper rolls, and you should be able to keep them in the roll whenever you plant them in the ground, allegedly. That's just what I saw on someone's tips and tricks for gardening on YouTube. So anyway, I'm gonna get some seeds started. I have a starting mix right here. I've got some potting soil. Enjoy my little cupcake, and then show you once I've got them all in the pots. But I decided to try and use this heating pad right here because it says it should be about 70 degrees to keep the soil warm when you're seeding, and I'm covering it to keep the warmth in with that it's a cake carrier top, so I'm not going to be making any cakes to go anytime soon, so I thought that might be a good use for it. Okay, so I just sat down. I've got everything prepared for my little project here. I've got the soil starter mix. I've got the pots and the little pods that I'm going to start the seeds in. I've got my birthday cupcake that I'm about to enjoy. I also have this plastic bin that some dip came in, so that I can actually use this as tags for labeling my plants. Basically, you just cut a bunch of strips out, and then right here on with a permanent marker, you can write what your plant label is. So you can reuse these without ever having to purchase plant labels. There's no point in purchasing plant labels. I should really make them a little bit thicker. I've got plenty to spare. So any like yogurt containers you have, sour cream, dip, whatever, plastic like this that you normally recycle, you can just use these as your labels. I thought that was neat. So I'm gonna make my labels. I'm gonna start my seeds. I've picked out a couple of salad items, some carrots that I want to start, leeks and onions I'm gonna try. I've got some zucchinis, peppers, broccoli, cilantro, and beans. So I'm going to really try and just kind of put a few seeds in each of these and see how they do, really. So I'll check back when I'm done with this. So before I did my last one, I wanted to kind of show you how I'm doing it. Basically, you just cut 4 strips, just under 1 inch long. Basically, if you were to pinch it and cut it across like that, it would be lining up on both sides. And then you want to make the same cut along the opposite end, along the opposite sides, I mean. So that ends up leaving you with 4 flaps, basically, like that. You can tuck 2 of them in and then just make a small cut, not as long as the first cut, about half as long, along the other 2. And then when you fold those in, you can crisscross them so they'll stay. So basically, you tuck them into each other. It should look like that. This one's not staying that well, so I'm gonna actually fold those 2 flaps in that were originally on the outside and make that small half cut on the other 2 flaps to see if it'll hold better that way. Some of them I found just held better that way. So pretty much like that. And it doesn't have to be perfect because it's just holding the soil basically. The rest of these, same thing. So they say that you should be able to, once it's ready to plant, put this whole thing in the ground without having to actually take it out, which is good because it doesn't disturb the plant as much. It doesn't go through that root shock that they talk about, allegedly. So we'll see if this works. So I've got my labels made, I've got all my soil made. I'm about to fill this one up, and then I'm gonna start putting my seeds in there. Okay, so I'm done here. All of my little starters, they're all nice and labeled. This one says it prefers to be grown in cool weather. So I'm actually gonna keep that one out away from the heating pad. So I'll keep that one separately. And the heat pad is an auto shut off, so I don't know how much good it's gonna do, but I figure something's better than nothing. If I just remember to turn it back on, it'll get more warmth than it would have otherwise. I don't have a greenhouse to put these in to keep them warm. I don't have a grow lamp, so that's my alternative, I feel like. Anyway, I'm gonna get these under the dome. So I would say it was a really successful day. I am just going to relax a little bit. I've just gotten a shower a little bit ago, got my moisturizer and lotion on, so I'm feeling nice and relaxed. And a new season of Working Moms has dropped, so I'm gonna watch a couple episodes and fall asleep. Good night.